So welcome to the agriculture channel. So today we will study about the land equivalent ratio, which is used for calculation of yield advantage in case of intercropping system. So coming to the topic, land equivalent ratio. So first of all, come to the definition. It means LER means land equivalent ratio. It is the relative land area. It is the relative land area under which crop, under sole crop, which is required to produce the yields we are getting in the intercropping system. You can say in the intercropping system. Okay, so that means in simply land equivalent ratio means what is the amount of area under sole crop it is required in order to produce whatever the yield you are getting from the same crop but it is present in the intercropping system. Okay, so this is the simple definition. So let us come to the concept. Suppose here we are having sole maize crop. For example, we are having sole maize crop, and you know that suppose the maize to maize distance is 60 centimeter. Maize to maize distance is row to row spacing is 60 centimeter. This is sole maize crop. Suppose this is sole cowpea crop and cowpea to cowpea distance is 30 centimeter. This is sole cowpea. So now whenever we are going for intercropping system, there are two types of intercropping. One is additive series, one is additive series. Additive series means this intercropping, this is intercropping. Intercropping is of two types. One is additive series, another is replacement series. Another is replacement series. Okay. So first come to know what do you mean by additive series. Additive series means you will just add another extra crop into the main crop. So suppose here you know that the maize to maize spacing is 60 centimeter. That means there is a large gap between the two maize plants, and you know that if there is large gap between the two main crop or two crops, then the land in between the two crop plants it remains exposed. That means if the land becomes exposed, in this case there will be more soil loss by means of evaporation will be there because it is exposed to the sunlight. Simultaneously, as it is exposed, more amount of weed growth will be there. That is why we are going for intercropping. So in between the two crops, we are growing from another crop which will cover the ground so that it will reduce the moisture loss by means of evaporation which are occurring earlier, and it will also simultaneously reduce the weed growth because it will suppress the weed population because it acts as a normally the intercrop act as a cover crop. Okay, so for example, we are saying here the initially sole maize is there. In case of additive series, what will happen? The maize population will remain same. Here you can say the spacing is 60 centimeter. Here also the spacing is 60 centimeter. But as you know that in between the maize crop or the rows of maize, there is a large gap, and in between this gap of maize, we are adding another crop. Suppose we are adding cowpea crop. Suppose we are adding cowpea crop in between the rows of maize crop. Okay, so that means if I'll ask you here maize to maize spacing is 60 centimeter, here also maize to maize spacing is 60 centimeter. That means as the spacing of the main crop, you can see the spacing of maize crop here and the spacing between the maize crop here are same. That means here the maize population, here the population of maize population, you can see here maize population in intercrop is equal to maize population as in sole crop. Means the population of maize in case of intercrop, whatever the maize population are there, it is equal to the maize population which is present in the sole crop, because the spacing is same, because as you know that the population is depend upon the spacing. So as the area by spacing, it will give your population. So as the spacing is same, hence the population will be same. So as you, in this case you can see, as the population of maize in intercrop is equal to the population of maize as in sole crop, hence this maize crop is called as, normally this maize crop is called as main crop or base crop. Main crop or base crop. And you are adding another crop, that is which crop? Cowpea crop. So here cowpea crop is an extra crop, yes or no? It is, we can say it is an extra crop, or which is added crop, or which is called as intercrop, because you are adding extra cowpea crop in between the rows of the maize. So if I ask you, can you say me whether the cowpea population here and the cowpea population here both are same or not? Let us come to the topic next. So this is sole maize, this is sole cowpea. Suppose you know that cowpea row to row spacing is 30 centimeter. Row to row spacing is here 30 centimeter. But you can see here, suppose if we are adding only one rows of cowpea in between the maize plant, then you can see here what is the spacing between cowpea. So maize to maize, initially the maize to maize is 60, and you are adding one row of cowpea here. That means this is the midpoint between the two maize row. That means here it is 30 centimeter, and here also it is the midpoint of this maize row. This is the midpoint. This is the midpoint of these two maize row. So here the row is 30 centimeter. That means here you can say the spacing between the cowpea is 30 plus 30, that is 60 centimeter. So you can see in case of additive series, the cowpea spacing is, row to row spacing is 60 centimeter. But in case of sole cowpea, the row to row spacing is 30 centimeter. That means in this case, as the spacing is less, as you know that spacing, you can see here population is equal to number of population is equal to area by spacing. That means if spacing will increase, then the number of population will decrease. If spacing will decrease, then the number of population will increase. This is inversely proportional. So here the maize population is remains same because the spacing is same. But cowpea population here, you can write here the cowpea population in intercrop, the intercrop cowpea population is less than that of the cowpea population which is present in sole crop, because the sole crop spacing is less, so population will be more. Here the cowpea spacing will be more, row to row spacing, hence the population or number of cowpea will be less per hectare. Okay, so another is replacement series. Replacement series means, so here two types of additive series, there will be two types of crop. One is main crop or base crop, whose population is same as that of sole crop. Another is called as added crop or intercrop, whose population is less than that of the sole crop. Coming to next one, replacement series. Replacement series means you are replacing one rows of the crop. That means suppose here 3 rows of maize is there, but you are replacing this maize row by means of cowpea only. Suppose I want to produce more amount of cowpea. That means I can replace this maize by means of the cowpea. That means here instead of 3 rows of maize, suppose this is once all area are having same area. All land are having same area, that is 1 hectare. It is 1 hectare, it is also 1 hectare of area. Suppose in this case 3 rows of maize are there, but as per the definition of replacement, I will replace this maize row by means of cowpea. That means we are having in this case 3 out of here 3 maize rows are there, but here we are having 2 maize rows. And as you know that, so here initially cowpea, 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 cowpea. Suppose that means this maize row is replaced by the cowpea row. Okay. So coming to, if I'll ask you, so in this case, what is the spacing between the maize to maize plant? You can see here the maize to maize spacing is, initially it is 60 and 60, but it is not present. That means it is 120 centimeter. Yes or no? That means as the spacing will increase between the rows of the plants, that means spacing will increase, means population will decrease. So here in this case, the maize population in intercrop is less than the maize population in sole crop. Very simple. And you know that cowpea, because there are some spaces where maize is present, that means the cowpea population will be less because some of the places are occupied with the maize population. Hence, here normally the cowpea, here you can also say that the cowpea population in intercrop is less than cowpea population sole crop. So as you can see here, in case of replacement series, both of the population of intercrop, that there will be, it is not intercrop, we are saying the components of the intercropping system. Both of the crops population is less in intercropping system as compared to the sole crop. Hence, there will be, we cannot say that which one is main crop and which one is intercrop. Like in the additive series, whose population remains same, we are called it as base crop or main crop, and whose population is less than sole crop, we are saying it is intercrop. But in case of replacement series, both of the crops are less than, as compared, both of the population is less than that of their sole crop population. Hence, in this case, both of the crops, in this case, whether the maize or cowpea, both are known as component crop. Both are known as component crops. Okay. So if I will ask you one question, can you say me why we are going for intercropping system? You can see, you know all these things. Why we are going for maize plus cowpea? Why? Because they are having which type of nature? They are having complementary nature. That means one will help another. Maize will help cowpea because the maize will provide the requirement of microclimate or suitable microclimate to the cowpea. Hence, the cowpea productivity will increase. And as you know that cowpea will fix nitrogen because it is a leguminous crop. It will fix nitrogen and it will help the maize. That means there will be complementary interaction between the two components of the intercropping system. So maize will provide suitable climate for cowpea. That means the cowpea in yield will increase, and cowpea will provide nitrogen or any other nutrients to increase the maize yield as compared to their sole crop. Yes or no? Yes. So in this case, one question. Suppose I am taking okay. So suppose if I will ask you, sir, in case of whenever maize sole is there, another is sole cowpea is there, but intercropping means there will be complementary to each other. Yes or no? So you will tell yes sir, complementary. That means if I ask you, suppose I am taking one individual maize plant. This is one individual maize plant. This is one individual maize plant. Yes or no? This is sole. This is intercrop. Can you say me which this individual maize plant or this individual maize plant, which will give more yield? So you can say, sir, this plant will give more yield because cowpea is present, and cowpea will help in nitrogen fixation, and it will add some nutrition to the soil, and this cowpea which will act as a cover crop, it will reduce the moisture loss from the soil, it will suppress the weed growth. Hence the benefit will get by the maize crop. That means in this case the individual maize crop yield is more than that of the individual sole maize crop. So here we can say the individual. Whenever we are considering the individuality, then in the maize intercrop, the maize plant which is present in intercrop is more than the maize plant which is present in the sole crop. Yes or no? You will tell yes sir. Simultaneously, if I will ask you again, what is the yield of cowpea? In this case, what is the cowpea yield sole crop individually? And in this case, what is the cowpea yield in case of intercrop? Again you will say sir, in this case the individual cowpea plant will give more yield because the maize plant will give more suitable climate to the cowpea. Yes or no? Sir, yes. That means here also the cowpea yield in sole crop individually, it will give less yield as compared to the cowpea yield you are getting from the intercrop. Okay, you will tell yes sir. So now I am saying 1 hectare of area. Suppose here 1 hectare of maize population is there. Suppose I am getting how much of yield? Suppose I am getting, so if I will ask you one question, how much of yield we are getting? So you will tell sir, how much of yield? Suppose from 1 hectare of maize plant, what is the population is there? Suppose we are getting 8 ton per hectare. How much? 8 ton per hectare if it is sole maize. Suppose my question is, what is the yield of maize from the 1 hectare of land? This is 1 hectare of land. 1 hectare of land where maize and cowpea intercrop is there. So if I'll ask you, what is the maize crop yield from 1 hectare of intercropping? So you will tell, sir, here you know what is the yield. Basically the yield is equal to population per area into yield of individual plant. Yes or no? Yield of individual plant. This is the thing. What is the yield of individual plant into the population? This will give your yield. So here the sole maize crop, the population is the same as that of the maize population in case of additive series. Yes or no? That means if I'll ask you, what is the maize yield here? So here if I'll ask you, in case of additive series, what is the total maize yield? Total maize yield from the intercrop. It will be, whether it will be 8 ton or more than 8 ton or less than 8 ton. This is depend upon the population, because you know that individual yield of the crop is more. So now individual yield will be increased in case of intercropping system. So you will see what is the population. So here you can say population depends upon the spacing. So in case of additive series, the main crop, which is the maize crop, here the maize population is same, sole crop maize population is same as that of sole crop, as that of intercropping maize population in case of additive series. That means population is remaining same. Sole crop and additive series, both maize crop population remains same, but the individual yield of the maize crop will be more in case of intercrop. That means if we will multiply these things, so the maize yield in case of intercropping from 1 hectare of land, suppose I am getting more than 8 hectare. Yes or no? This is the advantage in yield in case of intercropping. So in 1 hectare we are getting 8 ton per hectare in case of sole maize crop, but due to complementarity nature of the maize and cowpea, here maize yield will be more because individual population remains same. Population remains same, but individual yield of the maize will be increased. Hence, so here intercrop maize yield will be more. Yes. Another example, suppose here cowpea yield. Suppose from sole cowpea we are getting 2 ton per hectare. From sole cowpea we are getting 2 ton per hectare. Yes or no? So here you can see, if I'll ask you, individual cowpea yield will be more, but what about the population of the cowpea? You can see the population is less as compared to sole crop. That means more or less the cowpea intercrop, the total yield from 1 hectare of land, the cowpea yield will be less as that of sole cowpea yield, because the population is less, though the individual yield of the cowpea is more, but there is a maximum chance that from this 1 hectare of intercropping land we are getting less amount of cowpea yield because population is less. Yes or no? Suppose in this case the cowpea yield is in this case 2 ton per hectare. So in this case we are getting suppose 1.6 ton per hectare. Yes or no? This is in case of additive series. Okay. Coming to replacement series, it is also very simple. The same thing, the same principle will be applicable into this also. So here, first of all, we will see what is the population. You tell me the population of maize in case of sole crop and the population of replacement series, the maize population. Which one is smaller one? Sir, you can say the replacement series, the maize population will be smaller one. You can see here, the maize population is smaller one. The maize population is smaller one, but individual maize yield will be more. But as the population is less, hence the from this 1 hectare of land, from this 1 hectare of land, I am getting less amount of maize yield because the population is less. So suppose I am saying that in this 1 hectare of land, I am getting how much of maize? I am getting maize of less than 8 ton per hectare. Suppose I am getting 6 ton per hectare. Suppose I am getting 6 ton per hectare from this 1 hectare of replacement series. Similarly, as you can see here, cowpea population. What is the cowpea population? Sir, cowpea population of intercrop is less than that of the cowpea population of sole crop. Though the individual cowpea yield will be increased because of the complementary nature, but more or less the cowpea here also give less than that of the sole crop yield. Suppose it is 1.6 ton per hectare or 1.8 ton per hectare suppose. Okay. So here I hope you can understand what is the concept behind additive series and replacement series. Okay. Suppose I am saying that we will remove these things. What is the toaster? Suppose, okay, so I am removing all these things. Okay. So now we will come to the basic thing. So if I ask you what is the intercrop I have taken? Maize plus cowpea. So my yield is from sole crop maize yield. What is my maize yield? You can see here, sir, it is 8 ton per hectare. It is 8 ton per hectare. What is the intercrop? What is the intercrop maize yield? How much yield I am getting in case of, suppose we are taking in replacement series. Okay, so in case of intercrop, the maize yield is 6 ton per hectare. That means here you can say sole crop maize yield. What does it mean? 8 ton per hectare means from we are getting, so here we got 8 ton of maize. Which maize? If I am going for sole maize crop, I am getting 8 ton from 1 hectare of area. Yes or no? 8 ton from 1 hectare of area. Suppose I want to get 6 ton per hectare. What is the definition? It says that what is the amount of area required in order to produce the yield which you are getting from the intercropping system. So suppose in order to get 8 ton per hectare, how much of sole area I need? 1 hectare of area. What is the amount of yield I am getting from the intercrop? Sir, it is 6 ton per hectare. So convert it. So if it is 8 ton, I require 1 hectare. If it is 6 ton, if it is sol maize or sol maize crop we will grow, if we will grow sol maize, then in order to get 6 ton yield, how much of area I will require? 1 by 6 into 8. So it will be 8 by 6. It will be, so 1 by 8 into 6. So it will be 6 by 8. So 3 by 4. 3 by 4 means, you can see here 0.75. 0.75 hectare I needed. So in order to produce 6 ton maize, how much of sol crop area I need? 0.75 hectare. Okay. Coming to cowpea. So the sol cowpea yield, how much? Sir, 2 ton per hectare. Okay. What is the intercrop cowpea yield? So you will tell, sir, it is 1 point how much? 1.8 ton per hectare. Okay. So what is the meaning of sol cowpea yield? Sir, in order to get 2 ton of cowpea, in case of sol cowpea area, if you are having sol cowpea area, in order to get 2 ton per hectare, in order to get 2 ton, how much of area is required? Sir, 1 hectare area is required. How much of yield you want? Sir, I want 1.8 ton. So if I will go for sol maize, in order to get 1.8 ton, how much of sol area is required? 1 by 2 into 1 by 1.8 is equal to 1.8 by 2. So it will be 0.9 hectare. Yes or no? That means the simple thing is that, what is the intercrop yield of maize? 6 ton. What is the intercrop cowpea? It is 1.8 ton. The question is, in order to produce 6 ton, how much of sol area is required? 0.75. In order to produce 1.8 ton of cowpea, how much of area is required? 0.9 hectare. So that means, in order to produce 6 ton maize plus 1.8 ton cowpea, how much of area I require? 0.75 plus 0.90 hectare. Yes or no? So here you can say, how much total area? 1.65 hectare. Yes or no? 1.65 hectare. So, but we are getting this maize plus cowpea. If we are going for maize plus cowpea intercropping, from 1 hectare of land, I am getting 6 ton maize plus 1.8 ton cowpea. Yes or no? You are getting the concept? So if I am having maize plus cowpea intercropping, from 1 hectare of area, I am getting 6 ton of maize and 1.8 ton of cowpea. But if I will grow maize, sol and cowpea as a sol crop, in order to get this 6 ton maize and 1.8 ton cowpea, how much of sol? If it is sol crop, it is sol. If we are taking as sol crop, how much of area is needed? 1.65 hectare area is needed. Okay. So what we are getting from this concept? That, sir, whatever amount of maize and cowpea we are getting from 1 hectare, if we are going for sol crop production, then I require 1.65 hectare to produce the same amount of yield. Yes or no? That means, how much of area is saving here? Area saved, how much? In order to produce same amount of yield, how much of area is saving, or how much of area is saved? 1.65. If it is sol crop, this much of area is I required, but normally I have produced from 1 hectare of land by means of intercropping. So area is saving is 0.65 hectare. So how much of area is saved? Sir, 0.65 hectare is saved. How much of percentage area is saved? just multiply 100, 65%. Okay, so this is the concept behind it. Okay, that means here you can say this is 6 by 8. 6 means the intercrop yield divided by 8 means the sole crop yield. So LER of maize, if I will ask you, LER of maize is intercrop yield by sole crop yield. LER of cowpea is intercrop yield by intercrop cowpea yield divided by sole crop cowpea yield. You are getting? Okay, I hope you are getting my point. So the basic concept is, in case of intercropping, is you are taking which type of crops? Complementary interaction between the two crops, means one will help another. So in this case the LER, so you are getting, so I hope, I am omitting this one. Okay, I am omitting this one. So if I'll ask you, what is the LER of maize? Sir, LER of maize is equal to maize intercrop yield divided by maize sole crop yield. So here it is 6 by 8, which is 0.75 factor. LER, not 0.75, LER of cowpea, it is cowpea intercrop divided by cowpea sole crop yield. 1.8 by 2 is equal to 0.9. So LER of the system will be LER of maize plus LER of cowpea. So it will give 0.75 plus 0.9. So it will be 1.65, this much. So here you can say that LER means I am requiring. So if I will go for percentage, then percentage of area saved, the formula will be LER of system into 100 minus 100. So here 165, 1.65 into 100 minus 100. So 165 minus 100 is equal to 65. So 65% of area will be saved. Okay. So I hope you are understanding the concept behind it. So now coming to the question directly. Okay. So one concept another is here. So in this case, there is three interaction will be there. Three types of interaction. Okay. First one is, what is the LER value? What is the LER value? LER of the system. Okay, and the type of interaction here. And what is the yield? What is the concept with respect to yield? So the normal is, if LER is more than 1, here we are getting more than 1, that means area is saved. If, suppose, what is the yield here? We are getting from 1 hectare of land if it is intercropping. But if it is sole crop, I require 1.65 hectare. How much of area is saved? 0.65 area is saved if I am going for intercropping. So whatever the area we are saving, suppose this is 1 hectare of land, I am getting this much of yield. And how much of area I am saving? I am saving 0.65 hectare. That means from this 0.65 hectare, I can grow some other crop or the same type of crop, so that I will get more amount of yield because I can use more area. Suppose here in this case, LER value more than 1, that means it is yield advantage. Yes or no? Because area is saved. From this area you can take another crop or this same crop and you will get more amount of yield. What is the type of interaction? Sir, it is complementary interaction. Why complementary? Why complementary? Because both will help another, like in this maize and cowpea. Again I am writing it. What is the interaction? Complementary. complementary interaction, that is positive maize. Your maize help your maize plus cowpea. Maize will help cowpea will also help maize. So both the yield will increase, hence the LER value will be more than 1. If I will say LER value is equal to 1, that means there will be no interaction. No interaction means what is the component A crop plus B crop? There is no effect. There is no effect or zero interaction. No interaction or zero interaction. There is no effect of A over B, but there is no effect of B over A. There is zero interaction. Okay. In this case, complementary both crop yield will increase. Then coming to if LER is less than 1, if LER value is less than 1, we are saying it yield disadvantage. We are saying it as yield disadvantage. That means one will give harmful effect over another. This is one which type of interaction? Competitive interaction. Competitive, or we can also say one type of allelopathic interaction. Allelopathic interaction or competitive interaction. That means if we are going A plus C plus D, suppose we are going C plus D, then the C will give harmful effect. C will decrease the yield of D, and D will also decrease the yield of C. In this case, LER is less than 1. So this is mostly asked question in the entrance examination. What is the meaning of LER is more than 1, LER is less than 1, LER is equal to 1, and LER is less than 1. Okay. More than 1 complementary, both will help each other. Is equal to 1 means there will be no interaction. That means whatever the yield you are getting from sole crop, that much of area is required to get the yield in case of intercrop. In this case, there will be competitive interaction between the two things. Suppose we are going for cereal crop, same type of crop. This is cereal crop and another is cereal crop. With the having of same time of peak period demand, same height, same root depth. So in this case, there will be more competitive interaction between the two crops, and both of the crop yield will decrease. Okay. So now let us come to the question. What is my question? So what I need in order to calculate this LER value, I need intercrop yield and I need sole crop yield. This is the concept. So my formula is LER of the system. LER of the system is equal to yield of sole crop divided by yield of intercrop divided by yield of sole crop. Here A plus B. A is one crop, B is one crop. So yield of intercrop A divided by sole crop. Yield of intercrop B divided yield of intercrop B in case of A plus B intercropping, yield of intercrop A in case of AB intercropping, divided by yield of sole crop. Very simple. I am again saying yield of we can say, I am saying intercrop yield of A divided by sole crop yield of A plus intercrop yield of B divided by sole crop yield of B. So in this case, what is my A? The yield. So let's study the question. Okay. So my question is the yield of groundnut and red gram. That means there is two types. There is intercropping system. You are saying in case of intercrop, which intercrop? Groundnut plus red gram. Yes or no? Okay. The yield of groundnut and red gram grown as pure crop. Pure crop means your sole crop. Pure crop is equivalent to sole crop. So what is the yield of sole crop? Of 1500 and 1000 kg per hectare respectively. That means yield of groundnut is 1500. Yield of groundnut, sole crop, here you can say you are having pure crop or sole crop. So sole groundnut yield, how much? Groundnut 1500 kg per hectare. Then again sole red gram yield, how much? 1000 kg per hectare. Yes. Then but they are grown as intercrop. When they are growing as intercrop, yield of groundnut, that means we are getting intercrop groundnut yield. How much? 1200 kg per hectare. Then groundnut and red gram. So intercrop red gram yield is how much? 900 gram. Are you getting my point? Red gram, groundnut, red gram. So groundnut 1500, red gram 1000. Then again intercrop groundnut and red gram. So groundnut 1200, red gram 900. So according to the question, if I will go for answer, then what is the LER of the system? In this system, LER of groundnut plus red gram system is equal to LER of groundnut plus LER of red gram. Yes or no? So LER of groundnut means intercrop groundnut intercrop yield divided by groundnut sole crop yield plus, you can see here, red gram intercrop yield divided by red gram sole crop yield. So you are getting the point. Put the point and get the answer. Put the value, get the answer. So what is the groundnut intercrop yield? So groundnut intercrop yield is 1200 divided by groundnut sole crop 1500. Yes or no? Plus what is the red gram intercrop? Red gram intercrop is 900 divided by what is the red gram sole crop? Sorry, it is 1000. Then what is the value? Value is, it is 0.8 plus 15 into 8 is 120. So 0.8. This value is 0.9. What is the value? 1.70 hectare. That means how much of area is saved? Area saved, whatever the area I am getting from 1 hectare in case of intercropping, 1 hectare in case of intercropping. In case of sole crop, how much of area required to get the same amount of yield? How much? 1.70. So area saved is equal to area required to produce the same crop and same yield in case of sole crop minus area I required actually, this is 1 hectare, is equal to 0.70 hectare. If I'll ask you what is the percentage of area saved, is equal to LER into 100 minus 100. This means 1.70 into 100 minus 100. 170 minus 100 is equal to 70%. So this much of area, or this 70% area, or 0.70 hectare of area I am saving if I will go for intercropping. And here I can say age LER of the system is more than 1, yes or no? In this example, area is, the LER value is more than 1, age it is more than 1. If I'll ask you what type of interaction is there, sir, which type of crop? Groundnut plus red gram. That means there is which type of interaction? Sir, there will be complementary interaction is there, yes or no? Sir, there is complementary interaction. Whether there is yield advantage, yes, sir, there we are getting yield advantage from this type of intercropping system because I am having LER more than 1. So this is the concept behind the land equivalent ratio. I hope you can understand the concept behind the intercropping and what is the meaning and what is the use of LER. So in case of whether we are choosing which type of intercrop we should follow or we should recommend to the farmer, this is based upon the LER, or that is the land equivalent ratio. We are recommending the farmers that you should take this type of intercrop or this type of crop you will grow by together. Okay, so as if I'll ask you which type of intercrop we will follow, so higher the LER value, suppose one is 1.7, LER of the system is 1.7, another intercropping the LER is 2.9. that means higher the LER value, that means higher the area you are saving. So you will prefer those intercrops which are having higher number of or more number of LER value. Okay, thank you. I hope you can understand all these things. Thank you so much.